Hi, I'm Jay Lenora Bressler, and welcome to the Wednesday, October 26, 2022 edition of the Bible Delight in the Details. Today's verse is from Psalm chapter, my mind just went blank. What is it? Chapter 30, verse 5. And that is, for his anger lasts only for a moment, but his favor lasts a lifetime. Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. Now, interestingly, this beautiful verse from this beautiful psalm of Psalm 30 is stated in our Bibles as a psalm, a song for the dedication of the temple of David, which indicates that David wrote the psalm. However, we know that David was not deemed worthy by the Lord to actually dedicate the temple, build the temple for him. It would be his son Solomon who would do that. But interestingly, it appears that Solomon chose this psalm of his father to use in the dedication ceremony of the temple. And it's very meaningful because when you read Psalm 30, it's talking about the faithfulness of the Lord and that the Lord has rescued David, or the psalmist. And specifically, it's interesting because although there's no indication except for what I read you in verse 5, it appears that sometimes what the psalmist had been saved from was God's punishment on him, or at least God's allowing the consequences of his choices to catch up with him. It says that God's anger will not last forever. And this is not the only place in the Bible talking about how when a nation or when an individual sins, God's anger will be kindled. But when God brings the consequences, allows the consequences of our sin to come upon us, if we are people of the Lord, the purpose is not so much punishment as it is a wake-up call, a harbinger, a warning. Wait a minute, turn back now, come back to me. And in that light, it says that weeping may last for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Have you ever wondered why joy comes in the morning according to the Bible? Well, I believe it's because the Bible also says that God's mercies are new every morning. You see, unlike a human being, God does not get so frustrated with us that he just throws up his hands and says, I'm done with you. He is long-suffering. In the great self-declaration of himself in Exodus 34, verses 3-4, God says that he is long-suffering, he is patient, he is slow to anger, that he is long-suffering to the point of just not wanting anyone to perish. We know this from passages in the New Testament as well. Joy comes in the morning because, first of all, the Lord is still with us in the morning. You know, I think about Tristan and I. Tristan and I have tempers, and they can flare up pretty quickly. But the great thing about Tristan and me is that we can be yelling at each other and really angry, and literally 5 minutes later, it's all over. It's like a sudden storm in the desert, and then it's gone, and we're saying, I love you, you're the best, and we truly mean it. Some people look at that, and I'm sure they can't understand that. Some people just hold on to their anger maybe longer, but when you're truly love somebody, yes, there may be something that aggravates you or annoys you, and it sparks your temper. But, you're still there. You're not going anywhere. It doesn't mean anything. It's not that the relationship is crumbling. It's just, a temporary irritation, but it comes right back. When you have that kind of relationship with a person, it's a glorious thing. It's such a comfort. Doesn't mean that your friend or your family member isn't going to correct you, isn't even going to show distress about you. We're told in the Bible that we can grieve the Holy Spirit, and no doubt we do often. But God's mercies are new every morning, and so there's always joy, because we know that there will always be that restoration if we are people who are in right relationship with the Lord. Isn't it a glorious thing to know that in our relationship with the Lord, yes, there may be weeping for a night, but there will be joy in the morning, always indicative and pointing to the greatest fulfillment of that, when there was weeping at the death of Christ and joy the morning of Easter. I'm J. Lenora Bressler, hoping that you always find joy in the morning. Visit me on the next edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details. Have a great day.